Hello students, myself Kalpana Singh, your biology teacher. Today in this video, I'll take the chapter, Why Do We Fall Ill from class 9. This is the very good chapter related to the diseases, the types of diseases, and main thing, what is health. So according to the chapter, I'll just take the topic health. What do you mean by health? Or to which person we said that he or she is healthy. So in general, yes, the first thought that comes in our mind, the person that is physically fit, that we can call healthy. So, but this is not the proper explanation regarding the term health. So earlier, as according to the old concept, two concepts are there that explain the health properly. So earlier, as per the old concept, the state of being free from illness or injury, the person is said to be healthy. State of being free from illness or injury. Illness means any problem, any default or any defect that occurs suddenly or occasionally or to a long term that occurs, and because of that person do not find himself or herself normal, that person is called the suffering person, and those who don't have such kind of problems known as to be the healthy person, or a person having no injury, no accidental problem, no loss of any organ, that person is called healthy as per the old concept. But as we study more and more about these topics, then we realize that no, this definition is not proper, that explains the health or a healthy person. So after some time, a new concept is there regarding the health. And what is that? Health is a state of being well enough to function well physically, mentally and socially. That means here we covers all the aspects that surrounds a particular person. If in every field or in every situation person is relaxed, then a person is said to be a healthy. Physically means when there is no problem regarding the body function or any illness or injury, that is a physical part. Then another is the mentally. Mentally means related to the brain. I mean, there should be no stress, no depressions, no problems that disturb him, and because of that the person do not find himself a normal person. See, if the problem is physically, I mean if a problem related to any organ or any disease, in that case also person do not feel comfortable. And if any problem related to a mental level, mentally there is no peace in the person's attitude, then again the person do not feel himself healthy. Third aspect is the socially. Socially means the surroundings, the society in which the person live. If a person is physically fine, if a person is mentally fine, but he has some problem regarding the society or in the surrounding he lives, maybe do not get any proper respect in the society, or having any bad habit, because of that he is not having a very good image in the society. In that case also, that also create a disturbance in the attitude of a person, and the person do not find himself a healthy one. He cannot say, yeah, I am well enough. No, some problem is there. If some problem is there related to society, related to the social aspect, if there is some problem related to the mental level, and if there is any problem related to the physical level, in any level, if a person find any problem, that means the person is not healthy. So this is the new complete modern concept of health that defines all the aspects of the life, that a person, a state of being well enough to function well physically, mentally and socially, and this is the concept that is approved by the WHO, World Health Organization also. So this is the very important regarding the health. Health is a very good chapter topic in this chapter that you have to be very much clear about it. And then next to it, let's come to disease. During my explanation, this word disease comes, it's a very normal, very common term, disease. But actually, what does it mean? Disease. Disease, if we break it in two parts, dis and ease, then it will be very clear. Dis means no. Dis means no. And ease means comfort. That means a person is said to be having disease when there is no comfort in his life or he do not feel any comfort. So that is called disease, a very general description about that. Dis means no and ease means comfort. Or disease, suffering from particular disease. Disease explains when a person physically feels or suffering from any particular disease, then a person is said to be having a disease. Now another concept is the illness. Related, very related concepts are there. Regarding illness, what to whom we tell a person is ill, yeah, what the term illness means? Illness means discomfort called illness. When a person feels himself in a very discomfort position, maybe through the society, maybe through the mental level, or maybe at the physical level, then it is called illness. When person do not feel comfortable, that is illness. When disease means when a person is suffering from particular disease, that is called disease. And third topic is the bad health. See, these all terms are very much common, but we have to, the difference between all these terms, there is definitely a difference between the terms. Bad health means temporary illness, bad health. Suppose for a time being, maybe of any reason, we feel headache, we feel stomach ache, we feel pain in the muscle. All these are what? These are the terms that shows the bad health. Person having no such problem, person is perfectly fit. But if such problems are there, then we said the person must be having a bad health. Every time, frequently, he feels pain in his muscles or having pain in his head or stomach. That means that shows the person is having a bad health. So these are the terms disease, illness and bad health. It should be very clear in everybody's mind. Now next to it, what are the signs and symptoms? Very closely related terms, and sometimes we think both having the same meaning, but no, they have a different meaning. There is a proper difference between what are signs and what are the symptoms. Let's go through it. Signs means effect of disease that can be noticed by others, by a third person who is standing in front of you, that are called signs. Sign that shown physically, that has been observed by the person who is standing in front of you, that are signs. For example, bleeding nose, rashes on the skin, if it has been observed by a person who is standing in front of you, talking to you, maybe your friend or your colleague or someone else in the family, I mean, it's very easy to observe rashes on the skin. So that has been observed by a third person, maybe not by you first. So that are all signs. And what are the symptoms? Symptoms that can felt by the person himself or herself, that are called symptoms. Symptoms, effect that can be felt by individual. Example, headache, muscle pain, etc. Headache can be felt by a person itself. Outsider or third person cannot realize that a person is having an headache until or unless you are pressing your head or you are showing the some features ki I'm not feeling well because I am feeling headache, severe headache. So that felt by an individual, that are called symptoms. So there is a huge difference between the signs and symptoms. Signs are those that has been observed by a person standing in front of you by others. and the symptoms that has been observed by a person himself or herself, right? Now next to it, very important, types of diseases. This topic, types of diseases, so many categories are there according to which we can study the types of diseases. First of all, types of diseases on the basis of the time duration. Very important, and it makes a very important question of this chapter. So what are the types of diseases on the base of the time? That is the acute disease and the chronic disease. Very important, the first type of disease, acute and chronic. Acute diseases are the diseases that stand for a short time. Your short-term diseases are called acute diseases. For example, cold, viral fever, cough, that retains for 3-4 days or a week maximum, not more than that. And once you take a rest, proper bed rest, or you take a medicine, you will be as normal as you are earlier. So, acute diseases, the short-term diseases. On the other hand, chronic diseases that stands for long time, your long-term diseases are called chronic diseases. Example, AIDS and cancer. They may sustain for a month or 6 months or year, or it may retain for whole life, chronic diseases. So if it is tuberculosis, that means it will retain for 6 months to 3 years or whatever, depending on the severity of the problem. Or on another part, it may be lifelong, like diabetes, AIDS, cancer, may be fatal or curable. That is another section of this chapter. So, the types of diseases on the basis of the time, 2 types of diseases are there, very important, and it has been asked in the form of differentiation or maybe in the form of question, ki describe the acute and chronic diseases along with the examples. So, short-term diseases, long-term diseases, and examples are cold, viral fever, cough, and of chronic is the AIDS, cancer, tuberculosis, typhoid, pneumonia. Such diseases are called chronic diseases. Now, we'll move to another topic related to this chapter, why do we fall ill, that is the causative agent. What are the causative agents that are responsible for causing the disease or illness, or you can say the problems, physical problems. That is, again, this is another type of diseases. First is non-infectious diseases. See, 2 type of diseases are there basically. First, that is if a disease caused to a person, that is limited to that person only, that is non-infectious, that has not been infected to the other person. And another type of disease that is highly infectious. If a person come in contact with a diseased or the suffering person, that also then the disease will transmit from the diseased person to the another person. So, first is non-infectious diseases that has not infected to other person, that comes in contact with the suffering person. Not by the germs, cancer and AIDS. Basically, infection caused by the germs, right? And non-infectious diseases are not by germs, they are not spread through the germs. And what are the examples? Cancer and AIDS. So, non-infectious diseases that has not been spread by the germs and not transmitted to the healthy person, that are called or comes in the category of non-infectious diseases. Another part of this is the infectious diseases, that is through germs. Infectious diseases that transmitted to a healthy person also from a suffering person. Infectious diseases that is spread by the germs, because germs are responsible for spreading the diseases, right? Again, now the infectious diseases is of 2 types, communicable diseases, non-communicable diseases. Communicable diseases that spread very fast, like tuberculosis that we write in the short form TB, STDs, sexually transmitted diseases, and very much common nowadays, that is the COVID caused by virus. Okay, so these diseases are the communicable diseases. Another part of the infection, non-infectious diseases are the non-communicable diseases like malaria. Non-communicable disease, if a person is suffering from malaria and a normal person come in contact with a person suffering from malaria, you do not get any symptom or the infection of malaria from a suffering person, because it is non-communicable. Infectious diseases of two type again. Infectious, that is from which a person get infected. It may be आपके two categories are there, communicable and non-communicable. Communicable diseases that spread not by the touching or hugging, like STDs, tuberculosis. We understand ki that means spreading through if a suffering person come in contact with a normal person, then it very easily transmitted. Communicable diseases that are transmitted like TB, STDs and COVID. COVID nowadays, how much infectious it is, and because of that everybody knows we have to maintain a distance with a stranger or any other person, or we have to wear mask and we have to sanitize ourselves or our hands time to time whenever we go out, so as to prevent ourselves from the infection of COVID. And another is the non-communicable disease. Again, it is, by the protozoans like malaria and all, but it is not, that much infectious ki if a normal person come in contact with a person suffering from malaria, get transmitted the germs of malaria. No. So, two type of categories are there, communicable and non-communicable. So, this is based on the infectious agent. This is another type of diseases based on the infectious agent. Now, another topic, means of spread of disease. How the communicable diseases jo hai, that has been spread from an infected person to a normal person, how it spread, what are the means through which it spreads. The first one is the airborne diseases. See, infection basically spreads through water, air and the food. Basically, it spreads through these 3 points. So, first we discuss the airborne diseases, in which the germs are there in the air, and that air we inhale through the air. The agents, the germ agents or the germs of the diseases can enter our body. Example, TB, cold, pneumonia and COVID again. At present, current one is the COVID one. So, airborne diseases, this is the first mean of the spread of diseases, very much common. Another is waterborne. The water we drink, if it is contaminated having the germs, then definitely when it enters our body and it find our immunity weak, then it definitely attack our body and makes us diseased one. So, waterborne diseases, example cholera, typhoid. See students, it is very important to remember the diseases, how it spread. The diseases that spreads through virus, that spreads through bacteria, that I'll discuss in the next point, that I'll also discuss at the end of this chapter. So, waterborne diseases, cholera and typhoid. Third one is the sexual contact like AIDS and other STDs. Sexual contact, when a two person comes in contact physically, in that case only such diseases could be spread, not by mere hugging or touching, no. With this such diseases cannot spread, only through the sexual contact diseases could be spread like STDs and AIDS. Other animal malaria, other means of the spread of diseases through animals like malaria. How a person suffer from malaria, when a female Anopheles mosquito act as a vector, when it carries the plasmodium, that is a protozoan, and when it bites us in order to suck our blood, in that time duration, the plasmodium that is carried by the female mosquito enters our blood and through which the person is suffering from malaria. So that is another point, through animals, that is malaria. So how the disease is spread? Through air, then water, sexual contact and other animals. These are the means through which the diseases could be spread. Now, some more things to remember. First, diseases due to malnutrition. Nutrition means when we get the proper diet. If a person is having a proper diet, balanced diet, then the person is having a proper immunity, then he is not or she is not suffering from any diseases because he is perfectly fine, body is perfectly fine. Proper nutrition the body is getting, so why he would be suffer from any diseases? But if the nutrition is in the mal form, when it is in the reduced form, so what kind of disease it could affect the person if a person is having a continuous malnutrition? Diseases due to malnutrition, basically vitamin based deficiencies are there, vitamin D, vitamin B, so many vitamins we have, we know very well. So vitamin based deficiency occurs due to the malnutrition. Example, any one example of vitamin deficiency syndrome or disease is the beriberi, very much common. Another category, diseases that are heredity based. That is not by any agent, not by any means, such means. That is through our parents, that we get from the parents, that are hereditable diseases like color blindness and to some extent diabetes also. Diabetes also we can say it's a hereditable disease. Organ dysfunction diseases, that is during our lifetime span. If a person is accidentally having any problem or due to having a bad food habit, any organ is not functioning properly, due to that any diseases could be occur. That such diseases are called organ dysfunction diseases like diabetes. When our pancreas, that is very important organ, is not functioning properly, then insulin cannot be released properly. That controls our sugar level in the blood. When pancreas is not working, then diabetes occurs. Kidney stone, stones that occurs in the kidney or in gallbladder, that again due to the dysfunction of any particular organ. So these are few things that we have to remember. Already we have discussed the types of the diseases, that means the chronic or acute, infectious or non-infectious, communicable or non-communicable. Other than that, three categories are there: diseases based on malnutrition, diseases based on heredity, disease based on the dysfunctioning of any particular organ. So these are the types of various types of the diseases that occur in any human. Now besides that, now we'll discuss a bit about the infectious agents. Basically, diseases occur due to the attack of the germs. Germs are what? That are very microscopic, that we cannot see. And what are the main germs that we continuously studying from our the junior classes, 8th onwards? Viruses, bacteria, protozoans, fungi, these all are the microbes, and they are the friend and the foe. They helps us, and on other part they are dangerous to us also. But not everyone, few of them are favorable and few of them are dangerous to us. Here we talk about the dangerous microbes that that carries infections or the diseases through which a person suffers. So first of all, we studied about the virus. Virus is the main agent, and 100% all the viruses are harmful to us. No single virus is beneficial to us. Viruses that and some of the viral diseases are the corona or COVID. We are very much tackling nowadays, and the AIDS and so many others. The viral diseases, virus is a very special type of microorganism that we'll study in higher classes also, that we cannot consider virus as a living one, because sometimes when the virus find a target, then it will suddenly become active, become living. Otherwise, it behaves like a dead one, inactive. So, we conclude virus as a link between living and non-living. So, it's this will study in the higher classes, but here we study the first group of the infectious agent is the virus, and the examples of the viral diseases are corona, AIDS, cough, cold, viral fever, all are the examples of it. Another microbe or infectious agent is the bacteria. Bacteria, we have a tremendous variety of bacteria, and so many bacteria are very much beneficial to us. We get so many antibiotics through the bacteria, so many medicines we get through the bacteria, but on the other hand, we receive so many dangerous diseases also through bacteria. And what are the examples that are in your course? Typhoid, tuberculosis. These are the two examples of the bacterial diseases. Another category is the fungi. Another microbe or infectious agent is the fungi. Fungi examples, all the skin diseases are due to the fungal infection. And the very common is the ringworm. You must have heard this name, ringworm. The patches that occurs in the form of a ring on the skin. So all the skin infections are the fungal infection. Other than the fungi, multicellular organism, these 1, 2, 3, virus, bacteria, fungi, they are the microscopic organism. On the other hand, now we talk about the multicellular organism that as an endoparasite lives inside our body and creates so many problems. So one of the example is the Ascariasis caused by Ascaris. Now next to it, the fifth one, again the protozoan. This is again microscopic, and the best example is the malaria and Kala Azar. So these are the infectious agent. 5 category we have: the virus, bacteria, fungi, multicellular organism, and the protozoans. So and I've just mentioned the diseases related to such microorganisms beneath these agents. So very much important, and so many questions has been asked regarding all these topics, very important topics. So go through it very seriously. These are very much scoring to you and gives you a lot of information regarding the diseases, the microorganism, the beneficial one and the harmful one. Okay, now we'll move to the topic that is very much some more terms that are very much familiar to this topic, and it should be very much clear to you. The first of it is the immune system. Immune system, as the name shows, related to the immunity of the body. Immune system, that means the system of the person, particular person. If the immune system is fine, the person is perfectly fine. No invader or no infection can, if it will enter the body even, it will not be able to spread itself inside the body, because the immune system of the person is very much fine. So immune system, that is the body power to fight against the invaders or the infection. Next to immune system is the antibodies, very much common. There is a lot of confusion regarding the antibodies and antigens. Antigens are the infectious agent, that is the power, or we can say the power of the invaders. When the infectious agent enters our body, invader means the alien bodies or the things that comes from outside that is through the surrounding the infections, the germs. So antigens is the power of the germs with which it attacks the body, and then against that antigen our antibodies are there, that are the fighters of the body that fights with the antigen and make it neutralize and empower it and just destroy it finally. So antibodies is the power of the body with which it fights with the antigens of the infectious agents. So antibodies are actually the WBC fighters, WBC white blood cells that are the main source of the immunity of our body. Next is the antibiotics, very much common. Antibiotics is a medicine that doctor give to a suffering person when diseased person approaches the doctor for a particular disease. So antibodies, the chemicals for the strengthening the fighters, what the tablets we are getting or the syrups, these are actually the chemicals that are not proper in our body. When these chemicals enter the body, you know, it supports the fighters of the body. That means it supports the antibodies of the person body, and once the antibody gets strengthened and gets strong, it fights with the antigens of the infectious agent and destroy it and makes a person normal. When the infection destroyed, then person automatically become normal. So immune system, antibodies and the antibiotics, very much important. Now after that, one major important topic of this chapter is the immunization. Immunization is a process of making fool of what? Fool of a body of a infant, a newborn. Newborn body is what? That is totally unaware of any infection. Exactly. So through immunization process, we just give a small dose of every infection, and with that, that is already, you know, heated up or neutralizes it, and with that the memory section of the infant get memorized the intensity of the infection, and in future when such infection affect a person or the body of any person, so as per the memory of that infection, the antibodies fight with the antigens of the infectious agent. So this is immunization program and very much popular. We can explain it with the example of Pulse Polio program. Pulse Polio program is what everybody knows. It is very much popular in country, and it's a dose given by the medical staff door to door and to the infants up to the age of 5 years of age. So what happened to it? Polio virus. Polio occurs due to a viral infection. So what happened in this process? Polio virus causes polio. Exactly. Polio is a disease that is caused by polio virus, the microorganism. If it enters the body and the body immunity is not proper, or our antibodies are not in such a phase to fight against it, then a person definitely get a polio infection. But we are proud that nowadays almost polio problem has been eradicated from our country, and a very small portion has been left that we suppose in the coming time it completely get eradicated from the country. So what happened in this section? In the form of that dose, polio dose, give polio dose to eradicate it completely up to the age of 5 years of any young one. Now once this dose given, memorized by the infant body, these viruses are heat killed and almost dead ones. That virus, actually polio virus, has been given in the form of dose to the infants, but that dose or that viruses are already properly heated and it is almost dead. So it is not harmful to the infant body. Actually it is just to give a impact or some memory or introduction to the body of an infant about the infectious agent. Now once it enters the virus, the heat killed virus, antibodies fights and memorizes it. So actually fooling the body to give memory power. It just gives the virus, but actually that virus is already killed. So that means we are fooling the body of an infant that we are giving the virus, but this virus is not infectious, harmful. It is just only so that the body get the memory for it. That's it. This is the immunization program. So this is all about, it is a very important topic, and This process has been used from ages. In India also, in every country, and it is very much successful. Nowadays it is also used. Now the last topic related to this chapter, as I have told you, I am going to describe the diseases related to the main microbes that exist in this universe. So first of all, the bacterial diseases. This you have to remember. Questions definitely have been asked about to give two bacterial diseases, give two viral diseases, or which one of the disease is bacterial or the viral, you have to select it. So it is very important. The bacterial diseases, that is in your course in this chapter. Typhoid, cholera, TB, anthrax. 4 bacterial diseases has been mentioned in your class at your 9th level. Then the second is the viral diseases. Viral diseases, common cold, influenza, dengue, AIDS, and the COVID. That is the present viral infection. Then the fungi. See, in the case of COVID also, not of the infant. In fact, body of every person is unknown, right? It is, COVID is a viral infection that is totally new to each and every person of this universe. That is why it is very highly infectious. Moreover, we don't have any cure regarding that. We don't have any proper disease regarding, the treatment or the tablets regarding that. But nowadays, vaccine has been made against this COVID, and that again a part of immunization that has been promoted nowadays. Now next to it is the fungi skin diseases, all the fungal infection related to the skin. The very much common is the ringworm, I have told you earlier also. Last is the protozoan, that means the diseases caused by the microorganism, that is the protozoan. What are they? 2 main diseases in your course, malaria and the Kala Azar. So this is all about this chapter, why do we fall ill, and I hope you understand all the important terms related to the chapter and the main diseases that is in your course, and the differentiation between the different types of the diseases and the infectious agents and how the diseases spread. So this chapter is very much important as per the your exam. So go through it and try to learn all the diseases related to all microbes. It is very important, and that's all for today class, students. Thank you, and if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe it. Thank you.